you know what? I do swear. Or you know what? I do like to stay out till 3 a.m. Or you know what? I do like to get ready for 2 hours. Like, I'm not trying to be like, I get ready like really fast. Or like, I was telling this guy that I like flying Delta and you like flying American because like I want the points, not like being upgraded. And like 6 months ago, I've been like, no, I'll just like fly economy, whatever. But I was like, no, you know what? I do want to be a bougie. Like, I'm just so much more okay being like, no, this is me. And if you can't accept it, I don't really care anymore.
We're your besties in your ear. Back for another episode of Mean Girl Pod.
Welcome back to another episode of Mean Girl Pod.
Live from the bedroom in the one and only. We are the sweet life of Jordyn and Alex this week. Not Zach. Bye, Zach and Cody.
Hello, sweet life of Zach. Oh, no. Sweet life of Alex and Jordyn.
We're literally in we're at the Crescent Hotel in Dallas, and we're just living large.
They are the sweetest human beings ever. Literally, we have the coolest rooms. Yesterday, they brought us a chocolate boot with a Mean Girl logo on it. I ate both of them because Alex is lactose intolerant, and it was so good. They brought us a bottle of champagne. I'm just living my best life here.
And the thing about it is that it's the 3 L's, you know, the rules of real estate: location, 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 which is like this hotel. And then you come inside. Everyone's DMing me too, and they're like, I freaking love that hotel. And I'm like, I know. Hotels too, you know what they could do? Make or break a vacation. We're in bed.
And in Dallas,
Texas. Which is why you should watch on YouTube. Not because we're in Dallas. Well, because we're in Dallas, but because we're in bed.
Because we're in bed together.
Yeah. Jordyn's under the covers. I'm not.
It's cold.
Do you sleep under the covers? Like, how do you sleep? People sleep very intimately. Like, or how you sleep is so specific, I feel like.
Well, so I used to, you know how we talked about like serial killer traits a long time ago?
Yes.
One of my serial killer traits used to be I was a top sheet sleeper. So I wouldn't sleep underneath the sheet. I would sleep between the sheet and the comforter. So you know what I mean? Like, I would sleep like here. Mm-hmm. And then people thought that was so weird. They're like, why would you not sleep under the sheet? But it was because I would get so hot. But then when I started getting spray tans, my tan was starting to get on my white duvet. Mm-hmm. So I had to start sleeping under the sheet to protect my duvet. So now I just sleep under the sheet. But I'm such a hot, I run so hot, unbelievably hot, that I'm always sweating.
Okay, so I do that serial killer trait. I sleep on top of the sheet, and then I will. Okay, so I like to sleep in sweatsuits. Ideally, that's my happiest time is if I can be like bundled up in this and I get the room cold enough. But I started recently sleeping on top of the top sheet, so I'd have to do less laundry. So what I would do is I would wash the sheet and then I would just sleep on, and I wouldn't have it on, and I would just sleep on the regular sheet. Then I would have the sheet and I would stick it back on. So it was like I had one pair of sheets and I was just flip-flopping them.
I totally feel that because then when I always slept on the top sheet, I never had to do the bottom sheet laundry, and it was just so great.
And I've narrowed it down to one pillow, and I mean, my laundry is like 0 now. How often do you wash your sheets?
Well, okay, so in my old apartment, I didn't have laundry, so I would have to go to an actual place. It was like a clean and press. This is so gross.
What? You'd only do it once a month? Once every 6 months?
Like once every maybe 2 to 3 months.
No, you would wash your sheets once every 2 to 3 months?
Unless I had a guy sleeping in my bed. If I had a guy or my friend sleeping, I immediately wash the sheets before and after people come.
You're so type A.
Okay, but it was because I didn't have a laundry facility in my apartment. Now that I have one in my apartment, I'll probably wash them, honestly, like every 2 weeks to once a month.
So when I was in college...
I know, isn't it weird how there's like some things about me that are just disgusting?
That's so odd. I was like, this is going to be like once every Monday and Friday. Days in and why she washes her sheets. When I was in college, I went to my dorm, and my mom came down like 6 months in. And she was like, how often are you washing your sheets? And I was like, I've never washed them. Like, why would I wash my sheets? She was like, you have to wash your sheets. Your skin sheds every single night, and it sheds like little, like if you have a spray tan, you can see that it sheds on there.
Oh, yeah.
And so she's like, you're just rolling around in dead skin. Ever since then, this woman changed my life. I've washed my sheets. In college, I would do once a month. Now I wash my sheets every Sunday. Like I have to. And I'm not type A. But I do happen to know the stat of amount of people that wash their sheets once a month.
Oh, what's the stat?
Would you like to guess the percent?
30%.
12%. Why did I Google that today at breakfast? Like today I learned that.
That's so more. Is it because more people wash them more than once a month or less than once a month?
This is once a week.
Oh,
12% wash. Way like they never wash
girl,
them.
I don't know anyone who washes their sheets once a week.
I
Besides
mean,
my mom.
People, well, me, you know me.
Yeah.
Every Sunday.
I think I'm going to start doing, well, now that I have a washer and dryer in my building, I think I'll probably wash it regularly. Also, when I lived with my boyfriend, I washed my sheets way more regularly because men are gross and they sweat. And like that grease we talked about, like, remember a long time ago we talked about
The headboard?
like, yeah, what was that episode? It was like man air, or remember the, what was
Did
it?
I tell you the story about the headboard?
Yeah, we talked about in the episode. It was like man air. And it's just
boyfriend air.
boyfriend air, yeah. And it's just like the bed gets like greasy and it's just gross and it gets discolored. So I wash the sheets regularly with him.
I can't, like, so today I was sitting in here journaling. I don't know who I am, but I got a sanitizing wipe and this.
Who are you?
Because I wanted to lean against it. When I got on the airplane yesterday, I keep sanitizer wipes with me to wipe down, because you know the tray table is like the grossest thing you can possibly get on an airplane. Like that has more germs than anywhere else. So I always wipe my tray table or I won't use it. But I didn't have my wipes, so I called the flight attendant and I was like, "Do you have any wipes on board?" And she brought them to me, and I thought, who am I?
You know what's weird? It's kind of back to the sheets. Like we've talked about, I am so type A, but when it comes to cleanliness of germs, like I'm someone who I have to shower every day. I have to wash my hair every day. But when it comes to germs, I'll eat food off the floor. Like I just like, I would literally touch a tray on the airplane and then like touch my mouth. I just don't care.
I'm down to eat off the floor, and like things that I can lick and things, that's fine. It's once someone describes to me, like Spider told me in the subway, there's dead skin particles, and if you eat food, it gets stuck to the dead skin gets stuck to the food. I will never eat in a subway again. I'll stand up top and eat my eggs, and then I'll go down. Like that's what, like if somebody can give me the hard details of it, I can't unsee it.
I mean, I would never eat in a subway.
Oh, I used to eat my breakfast every day in the subway.
Oh.
On the subway.
Mm-mm.
Well, that was breakfast time. Yeah, it's not anymore.
That was breakfast time. No more.
It's over.
Oh my gosh.
Let's talk about the one and only Pink Whitney, which is the #1 flavored vodka. We are obviously in Dallas right now, headed to Austin tomorrow. By the time you're listening to this, we've got our first 2 Southern Summer Tours under our belt, presented by Pink Whitney. So we will be stopping in Charleston and Nashville August 9th and August 10th. So that's Charleston on the 9th, Nashville on the 10th, and then Tampa on August 27th. Nope, 22nd. Tampa
I was gonna say what?
Tampa on August 22nd, and we'll be bringing Pink Whitney along for the ride. So make sure to tell all of your friends, spread the word. We are in full force on our Pink Whitney tour. And head over to your local bar today, shoot your shot, take Pink Whitney, and send your friends the meetups, because we want to hang out with you guys.
So how was your weekend?
Okay. My weekend was fabulous. I went to the Hamptons with my intern.
Did you ever finish the story about? Oh my God, yeah, you did. Sorry.
Oh, I was like, I still don't know what story.
sorry.
Did I finish it?
Sorry.
My intern came over, Ames, on Friday, and I was just in a little bit of a daze, and she said, we're gonna ask Siri to flip a coin. Heads, we're going to the Hamptons. Tails, we're just go about your merry way. Flipped it. It said heads. It was 3:00. The train left at 4:17. Packed. She went home packed. Went to the Hamptons. Had a blast. Had the best time ever. Walked, ran, went out, did fun. Like, it was so much fun. And somebody asked me, they were like, are the Hamptons like what they're built up to be? And I was like, listen, everywhere is that for somebody else. We don't all love the same places, but out there, I think people are talkative. They're nice. Like, I just love everything about it. And we had a great time.
I love that for you.
What about you, my little mover?
Yeah, so I officially moved into my new apartment and I love it so much. My bed touches one wall.
No, it doesn't touch one wall. Or the back does.
Yeah.
But you can, I loved what you said. You can walk around and make your bed on both sides.
Yes. So I'll also make my bed now more. That was another reason why I never cleaned my sheets, because my bed touched like three walls. I couldn't make it.
Like, beds that touch a wall.
It's impossible to make the bed.
Growing up, I just remember, you'd rearrange your room. And every time I'd be like, I want to put my bed against the wall for my room, my mom would be like, no, I'm not making that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love it. It's definitely not my dream apartment, but I'm very much okay with that, because that's like something I've really like ingrained in my head is I want things to look forward to in life. So like because I used to be so hard on myself, like why am I not living in like my dream apartment at 28 or this or that by 28? But I'm like, I'm only 28. I have so many years to live in my dream places.
I would be very worried about you or I if we were at our dream spot right now.
Yeah, because I was watching TikTok the other day and this girl's like, I got into my dream apartment. I'm like, but you're like 22.
Well, dream bigger.
I was like, yeah, dream bigger, dream harder.
Move the goalpost.
But I love it so much. Not to be dramatic, but like I didn't realize how much where you live impacts your mental health, and I might become more of a homebody now.
I could so see that because I've lived in an apartment that I hated, and I think it really, you need to have a safe space, especially in New York. I think more so than any other city, but you need to have a place you can go to and feel at peace. And if it's not your apartment, then I feel like you're in constant fight or flight mode. So I'm really happy for you that you have that.
Yeah. So I had a
I'm just glad your move's over.
I had a chaotic weekend though.
Is there anything you'd like to report from it?
I just like, it was one of those weekends where it was just filled with like guys, like ended things with guys, hung out with guys. I just like the most God, people listening are gonna literally hate us. That word I brought up that one time.
Did we ever fix it? Figure it out with a C? It was with a C, right?
Charismatic?
No, it wasn't it. That wasn't it.
They're literally gonna kill us. And I've posted it on the Instagram story. Cosmetic? I don't know. Anyways.
Cosmic?
Cosmic. People are literally gonna be like, I want to kill you guys. Okay, so I already told you this story, so it's not gonna be that exciting, but I feel like I have to tell the listeners the story.
Okay.
So I went on a date with this guy last Wednesday, and I was telling Alex yesterday by the pool, we had to have a debrief. I couldn't just like I couldn't wait until the podcast to tell her all this, but I was telling her that I recently just started anxiety medication, which we'll probably get into like in a few more episodes, because like I can't really tell you how it's made me feel because I just started a few days ago.
Right.
But it's important to the story because the medication made me really nauseous, and I went on a date. The day I started it, I went on a date, which probably wasn't like the best idea because I was going to be drinking that night. But I was like going into this date just feeling very sick and just like not myself, and I didn't want to go. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on the date. I'm going to stick it out. So I'm on the way to the date. I forgot to tell you this part.
Oh.
I'm walking to this date, and this guy comes up to me and goes, Jordyn? And you know, sometimes when people like say your name, you're like, have we met before? Or
are you my friend?
Yeah. I'm like, do we meet drunk one night? And he was like, are you going on a date? And I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, maybe. Why? Who are you? And he was just like, I love the pod. And I was like,
you're like, are you my friend? Have we like matched? Like, yeah. Quick pause. I do think when we see people in the streets, they forget that we also have like friends, and like you and I are not afraid to meet somebody out and just completely not remember. So they'd be like, Alex, Jordyn, and you're like, give me something. Like, did we take a class together?
Literally.
Like, I'm just a listener, and I'm like, thank God. Or they're like, remember we sat by each other for an hour on the train, and I'm like,
I think his name was Phil. So Phil, if you're listening, you were great. But I also had
Phil.
my first date dress on. I you know, like when I go on dates, I wear like the same
blue and white halter.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was like, he probably saw the dress, like, she has her date dress on. But that just like kind of also like got me a little dazed and confused because I was just like, oh gosh. So on the way to the date, I sit down, and you know, like when you meet someone, you just are kind of like, I just feel like this date. Like I don't know why, but like when you first meet someone, for me, I'm like, either this date's gonna be great or I want to go.
Okay.
I saw him. I was like, you're so hot, but I want to go home. I was like, I feel nauseous. I'm exhausted. I move tomorrow. I don't want to be here. And I also felt like he really didn't want to be there either.
That's got to be the worst part.
It's so awkward when you feel like the person across from you doesn't want anything to do with you.
Wait, do you think he felt your energy and then he embodied that?
So I think he was like nervous, and he was also, so like we talked about this afterwards, because we both were like in the same boat, but he was like, I was so hot because it was like 90 degrees that day.
It's hard.
He was a little nervous. Obviously, I was a little nervous. I was stressed. So I think it was just our energies were just like not in a good place.
Because it's the rule of dating in order to show up, both of you being. Because if somebody, if somebody on a first date seemed not excited to be there, I would be deflated. Like, I don't know that I could recover from that. But also, same for them. But I don't feel like it's the guy or the girl's job to be like more excited. Like, you should both be equally excited. So what do? You just show up with like the best energy you got for the first 5 minutes, and then if you're like so let down, then you just get deflated.
Honestly, that's such a good point. Is I feel like first dates are so much about like the headspace you're in.
It's not his job. Like, it's not more him to be like, that's both of you are supposed to be excited. But I would agree if I looked across the table and I was like, they don't want to be there.
Yeah.
I would be like, why am
Yeah, because you're totally matching that person's energy. So yeah, so it's like maybe sometimes first dates don't go well, not because you don't like the person, it's because the energies are just off that day.
And if he senses for 5 seconds that you were like nauseous, but he doesn't know that, he's like, she doesn't want to be here, like, I didn't match the photos, then he's deflated.
Yeah. That's such a good point. He probably saw me and was like, she's not in a good headspace. And I saw him and I'm like, well, he doesn't want to be here. So our energies were just like bouncing back and forth.
Okay, I will say this too, or I guess I would pose this question. Do you think if the first date starts off bad in the first 20 minutes, are you completely checked out, or is there a chance you can come back from it? This situation is going to be different because I think it requires what happened.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't happen, do you think you can come back from it?
This is the only time I've ever been able to come back from it. Other than that, if I don't like someone in the first 20 minutes, I've never seen that person again.
I was going to say, I don't think there's a comeback moment that happens.
No, like this is the only situation where we've ever had a comeback.
Okay, tell them why.
So we're one drink into the date, maybe like 40 minutes. And like, I literally was like, we'll probably get one drink, maybe two, and then we'll leave. But it's like 45 minutes into the date, all of a sudden the waitress comes over and she's like, hey, to the guy. She was like, this, someone wants to send you guys shots. He doesn't want you to know who it is. He wants to be anonymous. And I was like, well, that's weird. And he's like, oh, maybe it's the bartender. Like, I know the bartender. So I don't really think anything of it. We take the shots. That totally lifted the mood. Like,
that's nice.
We are so thankful for those shots. We find out that his friend's also there on a date. So we send them back shots. And then we're like playing that game where we're trying to figure out everyone's story in the room.
Oh, it's the best game.
And it was like such a vibe. And we were looking at his friend and the girl he was with. And we were like, I wonder what date they're on. And him and I are talking. And don't you think that you can tell what date someone is on based off of how they're sitting?
Yeah, but I was going to say, I play this game all the time of, I'll be like, there's stories and I'll point to people around the restaurant. I'm never right.
But if someone's sitting on the same side of so it was one of those restaurants where it's like one wall's a booth and then the other side of the table's a chair.
Okay. Oh, okay, yes.
And they were both on the booth together.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is it a two-topper?
Kind of, yeah. Like, you can definitely fit two people. It was kind of like, so it's like a one-topper table, but the booth's so big and their tables are so spread out where you could easily fit like two people on the booth and one person on the chair across.
So it wasn't weird.
No, not at all.
Okay, the two were on the same side.
Yeah. But don't you feel like if people are on the same side of the booth, they know each other?
It's not a first date.
So that's what I said. I was like, okay, well, they're both on the same side of the booth, so I feel like this is the second or third date, and he was like, this is the first date.
I was gonna say, or it's a really good first date, and they're both touchy-feely.
So after I said that, he was like, so you wouldn't sit on the same side of the booth of a guy on a first date? And I was like, I mean, it's pretty intimate. And he was like, so you don't want to sit by me? It was like so smooth how he did it.
Nice.
So I like go to the other side. I sit next to him. The date ends up being so much fun. We go get pizza afterwards. And then I went home because I had to move literally the next day. But it was one of those dates where it's just like flipped.
Yeah, like you had an actual flip.
Yeah. So the next day comes around. I didn't really know much of it, like if he was gonna see me again or not. Because sometimes when dates go, I'm always like, when someone and you're like, I don't date.
No, I don't think so.
Sometimes when dates go super late, you don't know like what the guy's intentions are. Like we didn't do anything, but I still in my head was like, maybe he's just looking to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
But he texted me the next day. He was like, can I see you again? Blah, blah, blah. Didn't really think much of it. But this is where it gets so weird. So Sunday rolls around and my two friends are like, do you want to go on a walk on the West Side Highway? And I originally in my head was like, no, because I had just moved. I went to the Yankees game the day before. I was exhausted. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. So
ladies and gentlemen, you saw this one coming from a mile away. Let's talk about No Days Wasted, because Jordyn and I are in Dallas right now, moving to Austin. And if there's anything we don't have, it's to waste a day. Especially since we're driving. Summer is in full swing and no days wasted as help bounce back after a night out celebrating. The DHM Detox is the ultimate vitamin for when you celebrate. It helps break down the toxins that make you feel awful. They used research science to make this magic happen. Imagine this. A few drinks in the evening, you're having a great time, and the next morning you wake up feeling normal. Wow. Just take 2 capsules after your first couple drinks and it goes right to work. Double up and take another packet if you're having a big night. Forget the brain fog and the gross feeling the next day. So you always say this is your favorite thing. It's not like a packet you have to put in your drink. It's 2 pills. So you just pop it in your mouth, take it, and boom, done. No Days Wasted is available on GoPuff. Deliver it to a party, to a bar, you'd be like the real MVP, or to your house in 20 minutes or less. Just search No Days Wasted on GoPuff. DHM Detox is a risk-free purchase. This is the best part. So if you don't love it, they'll refund you on your first 10 packs box. Give it a shot. It's a no-brainer. Check out their recovery bundles for the best recovery experience with DHM Detox and their hydration replenisher.
We're going on a walk. They're like, we're going to stop at this bar and we're going to get drinks. In my head, I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that because I need to not drink today. But then we get to the end of the walk and I'm like, fuck it, I'll drink. So we stop at this bar that none of us have ever been to before. We're on the rooftop drinking. 10 minutes go by and these 2 guys walk in. And I literally had a heart attack. I was literally like, and my friend was like, are you good? And I was like, no, I'm not. I was like, I am, but I was like, I thought I just saw somebody that I know. And she's like, what guys would you know? She was like, okay, whatever. I look at him again and I was like, I literally go, you guys, that is blah, 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 who I went on a date with on Wednesday. And they're like, are you sure? And I showed them his hinge pictures. They were like, that is 99.9% like percent him.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because he had shaved and guys are like 2 different human beings.
Oh, they totally are.
And I was mortified because I had no makeup on. My hair was in like a top knot. We had walked 4 miles in 90-degree weather. I was sweating, wearing shitty workout clothes. Like I wasn't wearing like a cute 2-piece. It was
right.
like it was like this, like what I have on today.
It's not like the cute I'm working out set. It's like
it's like I'm working out.
No, I'm sweating set. There are 2 types of workout sets, and one of them is like adorable, and you're like you have you have the makeup on, and you're like I'm gonna go on a 5-second walk and then FaceTime you, and then there's like the no bitch, I'm sweating.
Yeah,
I don't want to see you.
And I was sweating. I was stuck to the seat. It was so gross.
Oh,
and
stuck to the seat.
Yeah. And so I put my sunglasses on and I'm just like, please don't notice me. Not because I didn't want to see him. I did want to see him. It was because I felt so uncomfortable by how I looked. It was such a stupid.
You wanted to see him, but you were like, I'm just not right now after the 4-mile walk.
Yeah. I was like, we've only gone on 1 date. I don't want you to see me in this condition yet. This is like 2 months in type of seeing someone.
And you're blindsided. Like you weren't supposed to see.
No.
It wasn't scheduled.
Exactly. So like he sees me, he starts approaching me and I'm like, oh, that's definitely him. He's coming over. So he comes over with his friend. He says hi. And this man has like the most like, I don't even know how to like describe it. I don't want to say confidence because he's confident, but it's like just like cool, like chill confidence I've ever seen in a person. He just like comes over, sits down, and he just decides to like hang out with us.
Wait, you're there with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 of you.
Mm-hmm.
How many extra seats are at the table?
Oh, there was none. So we were on the bar, and they're across the bar. When I say across, I mean like literally this far at a table that's like across the bar, and they pull up chairs.
He pulled up chairs to come sit by you and your friends?
Yeah.
To talk to you guys?
Yeah.
Did he introduce himself?
Yeah, oh my God, yeah. He was like, hi, I'm blah, blah, blah.
I love him for that. That is like, it's just so like, why be awkward and avoid it? Instead, he just like went right in and was like, hey, I'm so-and-so.
Yeah, because I thought maybe he would say hi and then walk away, which I didn't want him to. I wanted him to stay because I like really enjoyed his company when we went on that date. But yeah, he just like sat down and just like was like, I'm going to join you guys. We were there for 8 hours. My friend, my other friend came eventually too, Madeline. And so there was me and my 3 friends. These 2 guys, we hung out there from like 1 to 8 p.m.
And how was he?
It was so much fun. Like we literally all just like sat in a circle at the bar. We're like playing like drinking games, talking. At one point, he was like, oh, I shouldn't drink anymore. I have to go home and work. And in my head, I was like, oh, that sucks. I really want to keep hanging out with you. Next thing you know, he's like at the bar. He's like, who wants shots?
You're like, I like this guy.
It was so much fun. Then we went to another bar and we like drank till midnight. But the whole point of this story is like I've never had a situation where I've ran into somebody I am dating or went on one date with him. But like any guy that I've never even ran into a guy that I like before out like with unplanned. Like that's never happened to me.
Really?
And we both were like, I can't believe we ran into each other. That was his first time going to that bar. My first time going to that bar. He had just gotten done with a 3 to 5 mile run. And the only reason why they stopped was because his friend was like, I need to stop and get like something to drink because I'm going to die. It was all unplanned. This whole day was unplanned. It was like the universe put us together.
I think though that never happens for no reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it's so cool. I'm thinking about all the times it's been happening to me more in 2023 than it ever has before. But I'll run into people or I'll meet people.
Kismet.
That's the word.
Kismet.
I think it's with a K. It's with a K, isn't it?
I'm going to Google it.
Is that why it throws us off? And read us the definition. Do you see this crane? Did you see the crane that fell in New York
Kismet.
today?
No.
It fell in the street. I actually wonder if anyone...
Kismet. Oh, maybe. Kismet. Noun. Destiny, fate. What chance did I stand against Kismet?
Is it C or K?
K. So it means like... So in a sentence, it must have been Kismet that brought the bride and groom together a year ago. So it means like fate or destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that this was for us, but like I was shocked.
But it's a form of it.
Yes. Because not only did that happen, we also used to go to the same gym. I didn't know this. I found this out after we went on our date. He told me. But I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, are you my soulmate? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Are you my sister marry you?
But it was just like, I'm like, I've never had the universe throw somebody in my face this much. It's just like, it's like kind of like messing it with my head.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's real. Like, I used to not buy into any of that. But intern names, for example, she came into my life at the like perfect time when I needed somebody, kind of. Mm-hmm. And it was like that. And what's been happening to me lately is I'll see somebody and I'll be like, that's really weird. Like Sammy, the girl from Alice and Olivia. Mm-hmm. When I met her, I walked off and I was like, weirdest thing, but I just kind of feel like I was supposed to meet her. And it's like, I think if you don't think that stuff's real, not that stuff's real, but if you don't really buy into that, then you don't notice it and you don't like let it be true. Like I think you have like dense energy towards it. Yeah. But if you're just like, yeah, that was kind of cool, then I think it like can keep happening.
It's like the invisible string theory.
Yes, yes, I love that.
But then if you ever think about specific people that you've met, like the people who have like monumental like impacts in your life, it's like the domino effect. Mm-hmm. I even think about like my 5-year relationship, how like we met, or even like the guy I used to see in Dallas. Like I had the worst travel experience of my life. Like the universe was like trying to force me not to go see him that day. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. I eventually got there, but it was like the worst travel experience of my life. It's like the universe is always like kind of showing you how like I don't know, if you think about how you meet everyone, there's kind of a story behind all of it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. How you meet people. Even
like you and I, like what are the odds that you and I would start at Barstool around the same time? Mm-hmm. And like even like the story of how Mean Girl Pod started, like it's just like if you really think about it, it's a perfect domino effect. Like even like before I knew you, I started following you on Instagram or on TikTok. So I was like, oh my God, this girl's living in a hotel. This is so cool. And then like I saw you on the street the day I interviewed. You didn't see me. You just walked past.
I was like, we did?
Yeah, I never told you that?
No.
Yeah, you were walking to the office. You had your blue hair at the time, I think, still. Did you still have your blue hair?
Yeah.
And you were walking towards the Barstool office. I was walking out of it. And I had recently just started following you because I thought it was so fascinating that you were living in hotels.
It was fascinating.
And I remember just walking past you, you had like Starbucks in your hand and you were on the phone. And I was just like, who would have thought like when I walked past you that we'd be doing this one day?
No kidding.
It was just weird.
It's really weird. Yeah. You know, speaking of like thinking of what you're going to be doing one day, or like how you were talking about like your dream apartment or something, what I've been thinking about lately, I've also just been like, I don't think about a lot of things lately, or I think about everything lately. I don't know. I don't even know. But I think like I've been thinking, I used to go day by day. Now I divide my days in twos and I just do the beginning of the day and then I do the end of the day. But I was like, I'm so excited to see in 6 months, like where the wind blows us. Like, I feel like we both have so much up in the air right now. And it's like, do you ever wonder if you could just see 6 months down the road, would you want to see it? Or you just want to go like day by day? Because I think I'm at the first point in my life right now where I would like to see it.
Oh, really?
I've never wanted to know, but I would like to know.
I think I'm in the first part of my life, or the first time in my life where I don't want to know.
You typically want to know?
Well, I'm usually such a control freak. So I'm like, I want to know what's going to happen 6 months down the line. Not from like, more of just like from a work standpoint, like where will the podcast be? Where will I be living? Like that type of stuff.
Just to know.
Yeah.
Just to like put yourself at ease. Like, well, I do end up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. It's so fun to think about just like fate and destiny and how, I don't know. I've never been somebody who's like I don't even run into my friends.
You've always said you don't like see people.
Nope. I've never ran into an ex before, besides the Nashville thing, but that was different. But like I don't run into my exes. I don't run into like even if I like talk to a boy or have gone on a date with a boy, I've never seen them again. It's so weird. It's like when people in my life, like they're in my life when I like have intention to see them, but then it's like they don't exist if I don't have intention to see them.
I could be in Madrid and I'd be like, oh my God, it's my neighbor.
Yeah, no. You're so right. You are that person who always runs into people.
In the Hamptons, all I did was run into people.
My dad's the same way. Every time we would go on a trip as a family when we were younger, he'd run into somebody.
You know what else I just thought about in the Hamptons?
What?
I think it's very important. When we got there, I got food poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
I think from the calamari. And I was like, fine, right? Like I had done my full makeup and I had like my dress on and I was going to go out on Friday night. And I was like, I gotta like pee. And I went in the bathroom and like when I was in there, it just like, you know how food poisoning just hits you out of nowhere?
Yes.
So I got really hot and started sweating like to the point of like sweat was dripping in my mouth and like my makeup started running and I was like throwing up and I couldn't even talk. So I texted Amory and I was like, I need you. And she like came in there and she was like, what the fuck happened to you? And I was like, in 10 seconds, it just hit me like a freight train. And I was like, I can't move. And she goes, what do you need? And I said, a change of clothes, and you need to put my hair up. She brought me, took my dress off, put me in a t-shirt, plopped my hair up. And then she said, what do you want me to do? And I said, leave. Like, I want you guys to go out and like leave me in here for the rest of the night. She said, okay, see ya. Got up right then and they went outside, like called their Uber, sat outside and just like let me be sick in the hotel room. And the next day I was like, she was like, I don't feel bad, right? And I was like, no, all I wanted from the bottom of my heart was to be sick alone and miserable alone. And like you left that instance. And she was like, it's so funny because some people really want you to like stay there and like make sure you're okay. But like, what can you do in that moment? And like, when I'm sick, I want you to literally remove yourself immediately. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I texted her and I was like, you did, thank you. Like that was so, when someone's sick, it's like GTFO out of the room.
Oh my God. If I'm like, that's why I don't understand when guys are sick. They're like, I'm sick, but take care of me. It's like, when I'm sick, everyone leave. Leave now.
Yeah. Now, if I have like a fever and I'm feeling okay-ish, I need to be coddled like a 4-year-old child. and I can't move and my body aches and but when I'm throwing up, I'm throwing up by myself.
Oh.
Right?
Whenever I think about throwing up, I just think about Oklahoma because those are the only times I throw up is when I'm in Oklahoma.
So, okay, that reminds me of Oklahoma. My first time I ever drank was sophomore year of high school. And I was like at my friend's house spending the night, but she was having a party because her parents were gone. Have you heard of McCormick's vodka?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was taking shots of that and I was taking tallies. And I remember thinking like how cool I was because I didn't feel shots. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I can take as many or more than all the boys. So I took like 13 McCormick. And then I had the tallies. And me and my friend were like, we don't feel alcohol. And then, alcohol hits you. So it goes like black, right? And then I don't remember anything, but I woke up next to my mom in bed. Like she was sleeping with me in my like high school bedroom. And I like looked over to the side and I had like thrown up everywhere. And I was like, oh my God. So then she woke me up the next morning, 6 a.m. and made me clean the whole house. And that was like my like little, she was like, you don't get to be, you're not hungover today, honey. I had to clean everything. I know.
That sounds like my biggest nightmare.
The 6 a.m. wake up. My parents would do that to me. If I went out and they could tell, but I told them I didn't. 6 a.m. They'd be like, It's not gonna clean itself.
I think only once in my life I've woken up and been like, how did I get here?
When is it?
Oh, it was in New York. I woke up. This is gonna sound so bad. But I woke up naked next to somebody.
Oh no.
But it was consensual. He was somebody that I would make that very clear.
I consented.
But I just woke up and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, how did we both, like, it was like we were planning on going back together that night, but I was like, how did we get here and why am I naked?
I feel like you like don't ever forget or like not know. Wow, that was groundbreaking. I said forget or not know.
Yeah.
Novel word usage. But yeah, that's like, so you rolled over and you're like,
And I had not washed my face. I was
Hello.
just like, I was just like, why did I do this to myself?
Speaking of have you heard of 4 a.m. skincare?
Yeah. They were at the Hannah Eves event.
I didn't. So then I was reading about their branding. That was genius for the girl who likes to go out but still wash their face at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I was like, that's everyone.
Yeah. That is us in a nutshell.
I was like, everyone still wants to wash their face. Like the worst morning, no matter, even if you're not hungover or not, like even when I was sick, when you wake up the next morning and you haven't taken off your makeup, it's like almost the worst day ever. The start to the worst day ever. If you can get that makeup off, you got a chance.
Someone, it was actually a guy the other day. He was like, because I had stayed out till, I don't know, maybe like 3:30 with him. And he was like, do you do that often? And my initial response was like, no, I never do. And then I literally took a step back and I was like, because I used to have a problem where I would like try to be perfect for guys.
Okay.
And then I started to realize like I have to show them my true self. And if they don't like accept me, they are not my person.
Mm-hmm.
And I also need to stop focusing on them liking me, and I need to focus more on me liking them.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally was like, oh my God, I just lied to you. No, I do that actually a lot. I go out a lot and I like to stay out till 3 a.m.
I think that's honestly like good for you to realize that.
I know, because I just like got to the point where I was like, okay, no, that is me. And because I think one of the reasons why I always like dread relationships is because I become this like perfect person where I can't be myself. But if I like am myself and show the person that I'm dating who I am and they accept me, I don't have to pretend to be this perfect person. So I was like, I can't lie to this person. And then all of a sudden they start dating me and they're like, wait, why do you go out all the time?
Or you're trying to not go out all the time, then it starts coming out in like the ooze effect, right?
Yeah.
You always think you wrap yourself in saran wrap when you try to be somebody else, and then it starts like, that reminds me, okay, so this is what I thought about. So Amory came with me and her roommate Silsby came with us.
Mm-hmm. That's such a pretty name. Silsby.
And they call her Sills.
Cute.
Right, isn't that not adorable?
I love that. She's beautiful, by the way.
And they're so, okay, so I didn't have, like lately, and we're going to talk about this in a second, I just have been just like chilling, watching a lot, and I've been loving it. But when we were in the Hamptons.
Like watching life?
Just watching life. I'm just sitting here like I'm watching a movie. Don't have a lot to say. But I was sitting on the bed watching them get ready. And it was just these two girls being like unapologetically themselves. And things would come out of their mouth and I would just kind of chuckle. Like I was just listening, watching them the whole entire time. And I was like, I don't think, still till this day, I struggle with that. Being like, and you and I think used to talk about this, 100% our very true self. I think we used to suppress it a lot because I'm exploring as to why that was. But it's like, can you not just be, and like, it doesn't matter. I think you and I change a little bit of who we are so they'll receive it better to make the receiver a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's like, or we could just be exactly who we wanted to be, respectfully, like truly who we want to be. And then who cares how they take it?
Yeah. I feel like we conform to other people's energy to like make them feel more comfortable.
These two weren't, they didn't care if I was comfortable. I was cracking up internally. They didn't care what I thought one bit. And I thought, I don't think I would have this same energy roles reversed. I think I would be like kind of wondering what I don't know, like I'm older, I don't know. And they just didn't care. And I watched them the whole time. They didn't care at all. And I was like, I love that.
Oh my God, there's only like a couple people that I feel like I can be my true self with. I mean, I feel like I can be my true self around you all the time.
Well, you and I were built on that.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so refreshing.
But it's, I've been working on that a lot, because even when we were talking about that event like last week, how I was like, I just don't want to go. Like, I'm just trying to be more myself, where I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Correct.
And it's not like, so why do it?
Or I'm not even, or like, yeah, honestly, like I even feel like with roles, and there's something just like, I'm not going to do that.
No.
I don't want to. And then it's kind of like, you just, and when we're with people too, it's like, I don't really want to sit and do this.
Yeah, I've been, honestly, I feel like my whole personality right now is dating, but like that's something that it's taught me too, is like I am really trying to show my like authentic self, and it's so refreshing, because I'm like, you know what? I do swear. Or you know what? I do like to stay out till 3 a.m. Or you know what? I do like to get ready for 2 hours. Like, I'm not trying to be like, I get ready like really fast. Or like I even was saying, I was telling this guy that I like flying Delta and you like flying American, because like I want the points, not like being upgraded. And like 6 months ago I've been like, no, I'll just like fly economy, whatever. But I was like, no, you know what? I do want to be a bougie. Like, I'm just so much more okay being like, no, this is me. And if you can't accept it, I don't really care anymore. I can't fake not being me anymore.
Well, and most people would rather accept that. Like, I personally, as like a receiver, you can always tell a little bit that they're not being like their full selves.
Yeah.
But it's taken me, I don't know what it is this year, but just, I think feeling it inside and just like watching. And I think you get to a point where you're just like, that wasn't fully me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 1 second. I don't care anymore because I'm exhausted. And it has nothing to do with the other person.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever find yourself, if you go negative about someone and then being like, stop, what am I being negative about? She's being XYZ. Okay, I used to do, this is what I told the girls in the Hamptons. I used to go to the pool and see people in like their bathing suits and hoop earrings. And I'd be like, why would they like get, I'd be like, oh, why would they like get dressed up for the pool? Okay, fast forward. I've like love dressing up and would love putting on jewelry for the pool. Mm-hmm. Okay, I was like, what was my thought process back then? Probably someone who wished they could be like, I would love to get ready and look cute for the pool. But it's like, if you look at why you're being negative, instead of like moving away from it, like get closer to it and then be like, why are you doing it? It has something to do with you.
Yeah.
And I would do that with people like be unapologetically themselves. I would be like, what? Huh? And then it's like, they don't give a fuck what you think, because they're just being them.
No, we were just talking about this yesterday, how like there's not that many people in this world who can say they are their true authentic self. And the people who can, I'm so envious of. Like, I just love that person who knows who they are. And like, also, there's nothing more sexier than guy or girl who just like knows who they are and is just secure in that.
And they show up with that energy.
Yeah.
And you can just tell. And you know what too? A lot of times I feel like that person's very okay just walking up, like they don't really care. It's not F you at all.
No.
It's this welcoming, warm, I'm okay being me. And you all, when someone's more themselves, I feel like it gives everyone else permission to do the same.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's something so calm about it.
Yeah, I saw this TikTok the other day where it was like these girls were like, because everyone's always like, be the main character. And I feel like becoming the main character has become more toxic. Mm-hmm. And that's what they were saying. They're like,
ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Shady Rays, because Jordyn and I were at the pool yesterday in Dallas. We both had slick back buns. Mm-hmm. And we were like, we wish we had our Shady Rays. We love the matte black because we could put our sunglasses on our head and it wouldn't run the ponytails.
Do you notice when I don't wear my Shady Rays, I keep my sunglasses right here so it doesn't ruin my hair?
Yes, because you can't put them on your head.
Yes.
This is truly the best invention in the world. So if you love your shades like we do, but you find them getting caught in your hair, and that's very frustrating. Yes, if you're a girl or a guy with long hair, you're nodding with us. Our friends at Shady Rays designed sunglasses just for you. Their tangle-free aviator is all style and no tangle with their patent-pending nose pieces created to avoid any snags in your hair. You can finally like wear your sunglasses as a piece of going out. You know what I mean? Like you can style your hair and wear them. Shady Rays tangle-free aviators are one of the hottest selling collections right now, and they've added even more styles. Find out why they have over 250,000 5-star reviews. If you don't love your shades, you can exchange them for free within 30 days. There's no risk in finding your next pair of sunglasses. These sunglasses are best-selling collection, and they sell out often. But today, exclusively for you guys, our listeners, Shady Rays is offering 30% off their tangle-free aviators and more. Head to shadyrays.com/tangle-free with code MEANGIRL. Go to shadyrays.com/tangle-free and use code MEANGIRL.
It's being the main character is so stressful because it's like you're always out there trying to be like the best of the best, and you're kind of being bitchy because like you want all the attention, this or that, and it's like, you know what, maybe I don't want to be the main character. Maybe being the main character for me is just like sitting back and just like being myself, but like behind like everyone else, because I don't want to be out there like giving everyone all my energy all the time.
Well, and here's what I think about that too. I think that's fine. I don't like the term main character.
I don't either,
because I think it means like you're putting on a performance. There are some people who are naturally loud. Sometimes I'm like that. I'm so loud, and there are some times where I'll go out and I am a wrecking ball. I'm talking to everybody, and some people could be like, that is kind of me. That's just me to a corp. And then there are times where I go out and I'm like, I'm sitting in the corner. And I don't know, you never know which one you're going to get. But I feel like when we pinpoint like main character energy, it's like you're trying to put on like the performance, as opposed to just like, you might have a night where you're just talking to everyone.
Yeah. Like I went to the Yankees game over the weekend, and I was meeting I went with a friend, and like I met all their friends, and I was just like not in the mood to put on this performance to make sure everyone loved me. And I was very nice. I met everyone. I was talkative to everyone, but I definitely most situations being like, they probably fucking loved me. Like I was so great, but I leave exhausted because I'm giving all these people all my energy to be like the best version of myself, so they all like me. But I remember being at the game, and I was like, I'm just gonna be like me.
Yeah, take it or leave it.
And they probably like me, but they're not. I definitely didn't leave being like that was my best performance ever, but I left with a lot more energy, and it was just like a weird feeling I've never felt. But it was so nice not to feel like I was putting on a performance to like please everyone around me.
Yeah, like protect yourself.
Yeah.
And okay, think about this. It's like the time when you didn't go to the thing last Monday. Same with the friends you met at the Yankees game. When you leave, okay, whether they liked you or not, did it matter?
No.
20 minutes later?
No. Because they're not my friends.
There is a fine line, I will say this, between being kind and introducing the people you're around.
Yeah.
But past that, we do not need some grand gesture moment. Like the person you saw at the bar on Sunday that you were referencing, who came over, introduced himself, the guy.
Yeah.
That's not main character.
No.
That was confident. I'll sit with you guys and everyone will feel comfortable.
Yeah.
A lot of times too, I don't think big groups feel comfortable around main character energy.
No.
Because it doesn't allow everyone else to like have a say. So it's too overpowering. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, 1,000%.
The definition of like main character. I don't think main character and outgoing, they're not synonymous to me at all.
No.
They're very different.
I completely agree. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like really in that era of just trying to be more me and do me.
Oh, yeah. I feel like we both are though. I feel like every time we come, it's like, you're like, I didn't go to the event. And I'm like, I just sat there silently.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're just doing, it's so funny because I was thinking about us last summer and we were so different than we are this summer. But it's like summers are always so important to you and I because for some reason they just like, remember summer last year was pivotal for us.
Yeah.
And then summer this year is like we're like reorganizing kind of like the restructure summer.
I'm having a fuck around or find out summer.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, and I feel like it's very meaningful.
Yeah.
This summer I feel like is more prep work for long term.
Yeah.
Which is really good. Like I feel that and I like it.
No, I do too. It's yeah, so much has changed. Yeah, I feel like too I'll always like look on social media and I'll always be like, "Oh, I wish I was invited to that event, or I wish I could go to or not I wish it's more like, "Oh, I'm jealous. I wish I could go to that, or I'm jealous that they got to go to that." But then I sit back and I'm like, Jordyn, would you actually want to go to that event? It's like, no. And I just like, I'm like, why? And I don't know, it's just like a lesson I'm constantly like teaching myself with everything. Yeah.
I've been your opposite where I haven't scrolled. I actually have not scrolled Instagram since I got off of it like the 2 days after my birthday.
I'm so jealous.
And it's so funny, the world that doesn't exist when you're not on there. Like it's been, and that'll change, right? There'll be,
Yeah.
1 week I'll get on here and be like, guess what? My phone usage is 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like, it ebbs and flows. I'm just in that space right now. But I have been trying to say yes to events that you learn something from, like the Hannah Eve event where you get to listen to people.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And I go to them and I leave and I feel so fulfilled from like a this is what's out there type world. And I've just been like silently loving all of that,
Yeah.
but not, I can't scroll that darn app right now.
I would give anything to not scroll. It's tough working in social media because some days you just want to break, but it's kind of like owning your own business where it's like you could take a break, but if you take that break, you're losing like a week's worth of revenue.
Yeah.
So
I'm
it's hard.
still posting.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not scrolling.
No, I mean I'm not saying that directly towards you, but there's sometimes where I mean like I want to like delete it all.
Oh, yeah. No, you can't do that.
It'd be like you starting up a business that's really successful, and then you just like one day be like throwing that in the trash, or
Right.
like I'm just not gonna work. I'm not gonna run the business for a week. Well, all your customers will stop coming to you.
Right. No. That I don't think would be. I don't think we have. I do think we have the option to log out for a week, not delete. But I think because I think it breeds. If you sustain it too long, like I was getting to a place where I was like, it will be very good for me. If I don't, everything's just going to get worse.
Yeah.
So I took the step back, which I would do any day of the week again. But I think we reserve the right on social media to have a week of like, I have to.
Yeah.
And then other than that, yeah, no, we're not deleting the apps ever. Like you just there's some days where I'm like, watch this, I'll just delete the whole account. And it's like, you won't.
You won't.
You never won't. Like you're not
Nah.
gonna go get your law degree and then be like, check this out, firm deleted.
That's what I mean. It's like starting your own business and being like, psych, we're done. It's all your customers are literally like, but what about my services you still owe me?
Yeah. And it's like, it's our job to protect ourselves.
Yep. Do we have any like fun questions?
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. As you know, Jordyn and I are proponents of therapy. We go all the time. We find it so important to play offense instead of defense in life. And therapy is something that is so important because you get to talk to somebody about your feelings, how you feel, and the best path for you in life. Sometimes we're faced with tough choices and the best path forward isn't always clear. So whether you're dealing with decisions around career, relationships, or anything else, therapy helps you stay connected to what you really want while you navigate life so you can move forward with confidence and excitement. I feel like so many times Jordyn and I take these issues in life to our therapists and we come back with so many more tools of how to navigate it, and they help us in every aspect. And almost so that we're excited to share with you guys. Like therapy has been the most pivotal tool in my 20s. Don't know about you.
Yeah.
Trusting yourself to make decisions that align with your values is like anything. The more you practice it, the easier it gets. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited for your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/meangirl today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/meangirl. Okay, my question is,
Double chin in this whole episode because I'm like crouched.
dude, my question is, well, one, did you know you could Botox your armpits and your scalp to stop sweating?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Okay, so I did know that, but I heard that if you Botox your armpits to stop sweating, those sweat glands will like that sweat will come out more in other places.
Okay, I figured you're oozing everywhere else, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it didn't seem like it'd be healthy. How many holes are in a golf ball? How many little divots?
10,000.
Whoa. This sweet old man beside me at breakfast today kept coughing, and I would glance over at him, and then he looked at me and he said, do you know how many little divots are in a golf ball? And I was like, 150, 366.
Oh wow.
10,000 is an astronomical amount.
I know. I just didn't know.
Do you know what I mean? Like the ball with the little...
You have... I swear, you must... I think you give off this energy of like everyone... Like people can talk to me.
I do or I don't. It's one or the other.
I feel like you always have these stories of this person said this to you. I'm like, nobody unsolicitedly speaks to me.
Oh,
It's funny because like if someone speaks to me, they will like tell me their whole life story, but it's like never unsolicited. It's like the lady at the checkout, the lady doing my like someone where you're like
interacting
with, but like no, I never have people randomly speak to me.
Not like a cold call out in the restaurant beside you.
No, I think I totally give off like the do not talk to me energy.
You're on do not disturb. I'm on like you can swipe up and you don't need a passcode.
No, that's so true. Oh my god, that's literally so true.
I've talked to so many people recently, but I do think I'm also in this like very just like I'll respond to you right now.
Yeah,
totally.
I also think blondes give off more of a like lighter energy,
mingle,
approachable energy.
And I do think brunettes, they don't. Oh my god, do blondes give off more of a talk to me vibe?
I think so, because like even when you always say stuff like you always are like people on the planes are like, oh my god, love the pod. If people don't say it to me, they just like stare at me, and I'm like, I know you know, but you're not gonna say anything, because I think they look at me and they're like, she doesn't want to talk to me.
What?
Yeah, I give off. I feel like I give off. People have said that I give off a very approachable vibe.
I can make a person talk to me. Like I can be like that person will come talk to me. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, I wonder if blondes are more approachable. I know guys, I think blondes are more approachable.
Statistically, but like stereotypically, you would think we wouldn't be if you think of like a blonde, like a dumb blonde stereotype. Yeah. But then I do think when you think of, am I gonna go up to her? Yeah, I do think they do kind of have a more approachable vibe. Yeah. Why?
I mean, you look like someone that I would, if I had to ask someone for help, I would go up to.
Somebody asked me for help the other day in New York. Asked me how to call a cab and where would be the best spot. And I said, I do know where, and I will point you in that direction.
Yeah, I'm curious. I would like to know like the statistics on that.
It is funny. You are on Do Not Disturb, and I am on already swiped up with no passcode.
I am on Do Not Disturb. I think New York has turned me into Do Not Disturb.
And I think it's turned me into, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. But it's funny. I think I see it above our heads right now.
Yeah, that's actually it's like no password.
I'll talk to you. Yeah, you don't even need. It's like, God, what a world. Okay, my other question was, do you know what animal can't look up and see the sky?
Oh,
I had no idea.
A fish?
Pigs.
Really?
Their necks don't bend that way. Isn't that funny?
Have they ever seen the sky?
Apparently not, or stars. And they're missing a lot.
Oh, wait, that's really sad.
I know.
Oh.
I know. I had no idea. Oh, there's an animal that can't jump. Elephant.
That makes sense.
And polar bears. It said they were all left-handed, but I Googled it and it said that's a myth. They use both paws evenly.
Ah. Do we have any fun listener questions?
Okay.
Listener question time.
The listener question this week is, how do you know when you've outgrown friendships and it's time to end it? I think that's very easy.
Was that you and I? No, I was just talking to my friend about that. Okay, so I feel like your like upper 20s are such pivotal years for ending friendships, because it's kind of like that time when you are realizing that some people from high school and college probably were never good friends to you, and I just feel like a lot of people struggle with friendships the most at this time because they're losing friends, but it's also a really hard time to make friends because you're getting older. So I don't know, I just feel like it's something that a lot of people struggle with.
I think when it comes to friendships, people look for permission to move away from people. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you need to say, this friend doesn't serve me anymore. They don't make me feel good about myself anymore. I have to end my friendship with them. You don't have to end your friendship with them. You should consciously move away from them. So you should say, they don't make me... When you're in your younger 20s, you want social friends. You're going out with them. Nobody really has to like push you or make you a better person, hold you accountable. I think the older you get, the more you say, I want friends around me that make me a better person. They make me want to work harder, or whatever your values are, they're aligned with that and they push you. They're not negative. I think you look for those people, but I don't think it has to be, I need to send her a text and have a conversation with her and let her know that it's over. Because if you start to just distance yourself, then I think if she's texting you like you don't have time for me anymore, just be like, I'm really busy.
Yeah.
Like, hit her negative with the positive, and then just be like, and I love you and I'll always love you. And always send her love, but you just move on and you find friends that serve you more.
Yeah, my therapist always tells me if you aren't losing friends, you're not growing. But yeah, I think it can be as simple as, I mean, I think you can have conversations with friends and end their friendship if it's like very toxic or if you like need them out of your life. But I think a lot of people just drift away. Also, I'm at the point in my age where if someone's not bringing me value, I don't need them in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, life is so busy, and we always talk about this, but I'm so okay having like 4 or 5 very close friends versus like 10 social friends.
Yes, at this point, I don't look for somebody fun to go out with.
No.
That's nice, but I would rather, when they FaceTime me, I would never answer. But if they did FaceTime me, I would want the feeling to be not, here goes the gossip fest.
Yep.
It's like, I bet she's got something funny, and you answer and she's like, okay, so guess what I just read? Or like, you're never going to believe what I'm looking at. Or she's telling you something about herself where she's like, I achieved my goal.
Mm-hmm.
And she knew to call you, and you're like, I'm so effing proud of you.
Yeah.
Like when their name pops up on your phone, what's the feeling you get?
Yeah, like I don't go out with 10 girls. I go out with like 2 girls, and we literally usually start the night like having very meaningful conversation at the bar, drinking, and then we just see where the night leads. Like, I don't know the last time I went out with a massive group of girls when it was genuinely fun.
Well, and I think too, we should preface this because I know you'll agree with me here. When we say we don't want social friends, we're both very social.
Yeah.
But the way you're able to be social with someone, like I want a friend that's meaningful but also very social, and when she goes out, she kind of like goes out the same way I do. Like you're on the same page, and it's like you can talk to people or not, and it's like that vibe very much aligns, but we don't just want like just a solely social.
Yeah, social friends are people who just like coexist or like fill voids when you feel lonely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, let's go out.
Yeah, let's go out, but we're not actually gonna like talk or like have meaningful conversation. We're just gonna like be in each other's lives so we aren't feeling like we're alone that day.
Yes, and those are great.
Mm-hmm.
That's not first circle friends.
No.
First circle friends add value, and if not, then, or they're supportive.
Yeah.
They're unapologetically loving. Like there's a space for everyone. But I think if they bring you down in any sense, you just say, I love you, girl, but I'm going to be over here. I want you to eat, but not at my table.
Yeah. I also think too, people are like wondering when it's time to move on from friends. It's like what we talked about last episode. Like, how do they make you feel when they ask you to hang out? Do you feel exhausted or like, oh man? Or are you like, yes, they're going to bring me energy and value. Like, I'm so excited to hang out with them. Like, there's some people, not so much anymore, but I remember going out with them and I'm looking around for guys the entire time. Like, how can I be distracted? Like, how can I like entertain myself? And then now when I go out with my friends, I'm just like focused on them because like I enjoy their company.
Yeah. And I love if you have, let's say you happen to have a negative friend. Also, I'll say this, you're never questioning. I've had friends that I've never one time questioned, do I need to step back from them? Mm-hmm. So it's usually pretty obvious. If you're wondering, okay, you might need to.
Yeah.
And you usually have to learn the lesson like 5 times. You're like, I said I wasn't going to do it, and I did it, and all she did was gossip. But I'm rereading Think Like a Monk for the 3rd time, and I read it today, the 3-to-1 ratio. So if you've got the one negative friend, you have to have 3 positives with you, or like you can't hang out with them. Mm-hmm. And I love that because I haven't been around like a really negative person in a long time, but
Same.
I remember when I used to be, and man, I'd leave and I'd be like, we just swam uphill. I mean, like that was hard.
Yeah.
So I do think, I think the answer is if they're not providing you value and you leave and you have an icky feeling, you don't have to put the hard pressure on yourself. If I don't send them the text that we're not friends anymore, I have to keep hanging out with them. Distance yourself.
Yeah.
Give yourself permission. But nobody needs to give you the permission to end a friendship. You know.
And a friend shouldn't exhaust you. If you feel exhausted when someone texts you or calls you or like you hang out with them, that is a sign that you need to start moving on.
Yes.
Like
yes.
You need people who bring you energy and value into your life. Same with romantic partners. Like that's like what I've learned the most this year. It's like if I ever am just like, oh, I can't answer this text, it's too exhausting. It's like maybe I should rethink this relationship.
Names popping up, phones are bad in a lot of ways, but when somebody's name pops up on your phone, the way it makes you feel can tell you everything about that person and how you feel towards them.
Especially when they call you.
It's like, if you get anxious that someone's calling you, you're like, that's not good. But if you're like, I might answer. This will be fun.
You're like, yeah, I can't wait to answer. Yeah.
Or the friend where you're like, I'll put this on speaker. She'll talk to both of us. It's
Yeah.
like, that's so happy.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good question.
That was. All right. Well, we have our meetup tonight. We are in Dallas. When you guys are listening, we will be done with our meetups, but we have Charleston, Nashville, and Tampa coming up. So we hope to see you guys there.
We do. And follow us on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. AB, do what you do best.
Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook. Leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. And as we said at the top of this, I hope you watched on YouTube. Subscribe.
Bye. Love you.